Megan here. So this question is on what are the most efficient ways to maximize testosterone production? If you've been watching my channel a lot, I talk a lot about testosterone. I mean, almost every week I make a video on testosterone. Right, it is crucial, right? Not just for hypertrophy and fat loss and things like that, but for your state of mind. For you to feel, especially as a young man, for you to keep that fire, that drive, that aggression, that all the things that really are gonna propel you to the next level, right? And I always talk about different things you could do. And I know it's very tough to find a very condensed list because there is so much advice on the internet on how to increase testosterone. But I've studied it for so long, especially back in 2013, that I can tell you guys through trial and error, through working with people, and seeing what works and what doesn't and things like that. Focus on these top five things that I'm about to list here. Top five things, right? And I really believe these are the most important in terms of what gives you the most results in the shortest amount of time, right? Because I mean, again, there's like over 100 things you can fucking do. Who has time for that shit, right? Number one is calories. You have to eat enough food, guys. You have to eat enough food. That's why I'm not a big fan of cutting calories too low, especially when you're going on the cut and things like that. I'm not a big fan of that because a lot of the times people come back with, hormone issues like, oh, my testosterone is too low, blah, blah, blah. Don't cut your calories too low, guys. Remember, you cut your calories too low, you fucking up your thyroid levels, right? When your T3 is fucked up, everything slows down. When everything slows down, your body only focuses on survival. I always talk about the two tanks that your body has. Your body has two tanks. The first tank is survival. That's everything's gonna keep you alive, right? That's like the BMR tank, right? If you're in a coma, things like that. The second one is the bonus shit, muscle mass, hair, nails, strength, testosterone, things like that, right? That second tank only your body begins to put energy, money, investments into that tank only when the first tank is optimized, right? At least close to full. So that's what when you're sick or you undernourished, your body doesn't give a fuck about your muscles. It doesn't give a fuck about your mood or whatever. It just wants to keep you alive. So if you cut into that first tank, which is the most important one, don't expect to maximize the second one, right? You gotta know the difference on how your body spends. It's kind of like you when you're spending money, right? Say you broke and you don't have enough money to pay your bills for at the end of the month. You really think you're gonna go out and eat sushi, or you really think you're gonna go out and try to buy video games at GameStop? Nah, right? Well, if you're a normal person, that's how your body feels, right? So make sure you're not cutting calories too low and you're not fucking up your thyroid, right? And your leptin levels. So that's number one. The second, so that's the most important, right? The second thing is sleep. It's sleep, guys. You gotta fucking sleep. I don't understand how you can sleep. Now, I know I'm not a good example because I sleep like 4 or 5 hours a day, but I also fucking took a big hit. My T levels dropped like a motherfucker, because of the whole 4 or 5 hour sleep bullshit, right? So I really gotta optimize that. So you gotta optimize your sleep. Try to get at least 8 to 10 hours. When I say at least eight, people think, okay, eight. No, I said at least eight. That means worst case scenario, you're getting eight. If you could get 10, get 10. If you could nap during the day, nap. So try to sleep, guys. Your testosterone levels are gonna thank you for it. And don't forget, your testosterone is produced at night anyway, so why not? The third thing is cortisol. You gotta lower your cortisol. You have to lower your cortisol, guys, because again, you guys know, not only cortisol fucks up with your thyroid levels, right? Turns T3 into reverse T3, which is terrible for your body. But cortisol also competes with testosterone. So when your cortisol is too high, chronically too high, testosterone goes down. So lower all the things that increase stress. Try to find ways to relieve stress. Smash more, beat your meat if you have to. Go to the fucking gym. Do something that's gonna make you feel better. You know what I mean? And again, don't forget to eat carbs. People forget that. Oh, I want to cut my carbs. You cut your carbs too low, your cortisol is gonna be high. That's a fact, right? So find a way again to cycle your carbs where you also getting it, even if you're on a keto diet. So that's three, right? You gotta take care of cortisol. Um, so what did I say? So sleep, calories, sleep, cortisol. Number four is your social status. You gotta increase your social status. You gotta compete. I mean, this is a fact. Your testosterone levels go through the roof when you increase your social status. When somebody graduates from high school or graduates from college or gets a degree or gets a promotion or becomes a leader or whatever, their T levels go up. And this is a fact. This is not bro science. It's been tested several times. Somebody wins a fight, a boxing fight or a street fight or whatever. When your team wins the game, anything that involves competition increases your testosterone levels. Which makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. When you win, you claim. You have the claim to the women. You have the claim to the resources. So your T levels go up. You get bigger, stronger because now you got to protect your territory, and now the women are more attracted to you, right? So you gotta put things into perspective. You can't just be a bitch your whole life and expect to have high T levels, right? That's also why people that live in poor places where they're constantly competing have higher T levels than people who are in the back somewhere just chilling. So increase your social status or expose yourself to competition. And last but not least is your body fat. Decrease your body fat. I keep telling you guys, my goal is to be the biggest motherfucker naturally, right? As big as I could be, not the biggest, but as big as I could be naturally. I want to be huge delts, huge traps, huge arms, whatever, right? That's one of my side goals, of course, not my top goal. And the only reason why I keep taking these mini cuts were because right now I'm still around 220. The reason why I keep going, everyone's like, why I keep going back to 210, back to 220, 210, back to 225, is because I can't let my body fat get too out of hand. Remember, I'm 142 pounds. That's my frame. Before I started all this, I was 142 pounds. Went to 160, eventually all the way up to 220 in a very short amount of time. Again, because I found out what works. But I can't put on, at 220, the moment I put on 5 pounds on 220, my skinny fat genetics kick in. So I have to constantly cut because I know that if my body fat gets out of hand, it's going to fuck up my T levels. Remember, the more body fat you have, the more aromatase you have. Aromatase is the enzyme, if you watch my videos, that turns testosterone into estrogen. So if you have too much body fat, you have too much aromatase. Too much aromatase, a lot of your testosterone is going to be converted into estrogen, which is already bad because don't forget, 98% of your testosterone is not even active. All the effects of testosterone that you're experiencing right now, that's only 2% of your entire body's testosterone that's doing that shit. Your hair, your voice, your shoulders, the things that separate you from a woman, that's only 2% of your body's testosterone. Free testosterone, right? So why would you want part of that to become estrogen, right? So that's the only reason why if it wasn't up to that, I would fucking be as heavy as I could be right now. But because of that, I have to constantly stay within the 220, 225 range, cut to 210, come back up, on and on to try to keep the fat up. So keep that in mind. If your body fat is too high, go on a mini cut. I don't recommend a long cut. You guys know this channel. My goal is not to be shredded. I've done that. Not shredded, but lean. I've done that. I lived those days, and it wasn't fucking fun. If that's your goal, fine. But for those of you guys that are trying to pack on muscle size, try not to get too fucking fat. All right. So these are the top 5 most important things. Once you got those top 5 out of the way, now you can focus on the supplements and the fucking little things left and right. But that's where your primary focus should be. Improve your sleep, your calories, lower cortisol, lower your body fat, and compete. Raise your social status. Hope that helps. Comment your questions below. Share your experiences in the comment section. Help each other out as always. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you fuck with Team 3D. Diamonds in direction. I'm out of here.